Welcome. In this video, we are going to talk about cloud administration skills for JSS members, Job Skills Share. We have a lot of members that are taking IT support courses, and some people have already landed jobs. We have been doing this for 10 years, so we have a lot of people who have already achieved the goal of becoming an IT professional, but they also want to move up in their career. And then we have a lot of people that are starting new. Almost every week we get members that starts from scratch, meaning coming from a different career, students. And then of course the common question we get is, I want to start as a cloud administrator. In this video, I'm going to take a realistic approach for someone who's new to IT and you're just starting because you want to become a cloud administrator. The first thing is that are you ready from the mindset level? Are you mentally ready to learn technology? Now, if that is something that you have already worked on, then know that there is no position in IT that you can go and work normally, or let's say with a less stress. I'm going to say less stress in a way. You're going to always have stress in IT, but less stress is something that you already know the basics. So if you're new to IT, I'm not going to even go further, and I'm going to let you know that you will need to know the IT basics, the networking basics to become any IT professionals, whether it's a help desk, whether it's a systems administrator, network engineer, cybersecurity professionals, you name it. If you work with systems and you work with people and that has to do something with technology, you need to know the basics. A lot of people don't talk about this. They just jumped into the cloud learning immediately. They tell people that, look, you can get it that way. It is possible in IT, everything is possible, but the same people then come to us for like skills development, and we know they work for very big companies, but then they let us know that they need to learn about Active Directory, Windows, domain, all that sort of stuff because nobody have taught them and they got a job somehow because somebody helped them out. Yes, that's possible. But again, you're just going to come back to the skills. You're going to come back to the basics. So the first thing, the step one that I'm going to talk about is the basic. So if you are new to IT and you decided to become one, and even for cloud administration, you have to start with the basics. So what can you do in this case? You as a member can start with our modern IT support program. Basically, that's going to be taking you 3 to 4 months to finish everything hands on, labs, everything. And you're going to learn about that computers, networks, DHCP, DNS, all of that sort of stuff. You're going to learn about that in the basic way. Now, one of the beautiful thing about this is that one, you're going to understand the basic. The second thing is that you may realize that these positions, the cloud administration positions, are advanced, and usually these are not something you can just go and start applying to, and people will stop paying you about 80 to 100K immediately. I mean, it doesn't make sense to a lot of people. Like, people will spend so much time in IT, and then someone who's brand new have no clue how IT works, and people will stop paying you 100,000. It doesn't make too much sense to a lot of people. And now, in some cases, people can do that. Like I said, people can make you land these jobs. So just understand that that doesn't mean that you're going to be performing well on these jobs. And again, you're going to be looking for skills. So if you are a person who says that I don't want to work in IT support, I want to skip this and I want to jump to the cloud positions, you still need to learn the skills. That is my point right here. Whether you go with the jobs or not, the good thing is that if you cover the basics, then you can actually apply to IT support positions, and that could be something that you can start with for 6 or 7 months and then move on into the cloud. Now you have some sort of background and experience as well. And if you don't want to do that, then at least you learn the skills the right way, the correct way, the hands on way. So then at least when you go to these positions, even directly, it's not a big deal for you. It's not a big stress. The second thing is that learning about the networking skills. Now, this could be someone who, let's say, I want to learn about servers a little bit more in deeper way. I want to know how servers are connected in the companies, because me working as a cloud administrator, they could have a servers on premises and then they could have something on the cloud. Then if they tell me, hey, we got a domain controller or Active Directory on the site where the building is, and we got a cloud service. So can you connect these two together? If you don't know these skills, this is where your stress level is going to go above the roof like this, because you don't know this stuff. You have not done work on this. You don't know how networking works. This is why I will say that. Then again, if you finish the basics, then you can go with the networking skills. And I'm going to show you for our members how you can do this practically in our platform. So step one, basics is done. Then you got all the jobs opportunities right here for IT support. If you finish the networking skills, then this means you can go for the junior systems administrator job or junior network administrator job. So I'm going to put an N and S. That's networking and systems administrator's job. So what are you doing right now here? You're basically enabling yourself for many IT jobs in the market. You don't have to get stuck with one thing in your mind that I just have to apply to the cloud systems administrator, because again, this is very targeted right here. You're opening your whole job research in this area of IT. You're going to be loving this, because you can then look at any description and say, you know what, I like this, I don't like this, I like this, I don't like this. That's because you know these skills, and that again is not only for specific jobs in IT support or networking. That's for anything. Like I said, after this, you can go to cybersecurity, you can go to cloud administration, any level, any advanced level, wherever they touch systems, you are good to go. Now, at this point, you're clear that you know you need the basics, and you also need some sort of networking skills, and then cloud learning or working in cloud will become very easy. This is where then you target the cloud basics and the learning about cloud. What is cloud? Where do we use it? Some labs around it, some systems that I can touch here and there, just so I can break my mindset into cloud. Now, this is usually a stage for someone who's working in IT support for more than 6 months or 1 year, and you say, you know what, I'm just gonna learn networking while I'm working, so I can just learn this stuff and then move into cloud learning directly from help desk. Yes, that's possible, and that's okay. That's pretty much like easy, because at this point you know how networking works, how domain controllers are connected in the system. So you don't need to become a network engineer or a very highly skilled sysadmin, but at least you should do the networking skills before jumping into cloud, even as a help desk. So you can switch from help desk to cloud easily, because now you know the how technology works. And this could be also for someone who's a sysadmin or network engineer. And at this point, these people already have a lot of good skills, and they may have a very advanced skills on premises. But again, even for them, they need to learn the basics of cloud, just to have that mindset, because there's a lot of things that you're so used to networking in Cisco, or you're so used to the server environment as a sysadmin, because then you need to realize, oh wow, these are other services too that I can use, and I need to become familiar with it, because I don't have that sort of background access to a lot of things, and then I need to adapt to that, because my mind has to get ready for this. So this is again for many areas that you are in right now in IT, and you can come to it. But from the scratch, starting here, this is for people who say, no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I just want to go straight here. You still need to learn the education for getting to this stage right here, because in the cloud we are going to start yeah, what is cloud, this is a networks, blah blah blah, but we're not going to say what is DHCP. We're not going to say what is DNS. We're not going to say how things are connected from a network point of view. This is why we say that you need to know all this stuff, because you're going to get stuck in your courses. Any other courses, if you go straight, nobody's going to teach you the basics of how computer works, right? So this is where you're going to get stuck in any type of education system, and that is the main complaint we get from people, that somebody got me into cloud and boom, they just started with the AWS and Azure, and everything is going above my head. So let's just cut that, because we want to get things the right way, the real way, the realistic way. Once the basic is done in cloud, then you know for sure, okay, what do I want to target? Do I want to target AWS or Azure or something else? Mainly, it's going to be AWS or Azure. And that is where you need to make that decision. For us, of course, we're going to target the AWS because that's kind of like the main one. And after that, Azure as well. So then you will be able to come to a job like this where it says junior AWS cloud systems administrator. You click on it and then you come down and look, okay, you know what are they saying over here? I'm going to go ahead and see what are they looking for. You can see that they're saying that you need to provide customer service, cloud management, all that sort of stuff. And here they even put something like experience with Azure, experience with AWS cloud services, and then they have some other skills requirement, like for example, knowledge of Windows, right, and Linux. So see, people put this stuff because that's the requirement. This is what people think that you know this stuff. And if you don't, then even if you start working this somehow, you're gonna start seeing these systems even in a virtual environment. You need to install Windows operating system or Linux, and then you need to get into that and perform things. And how could you do that if you never learn these things? So this is why people will have the a little bit of problem when you're going directly. But if you go from the route that I just showed you, that this shouldn't be a problem. And then we basically make a kind of like based on how IT works, we say 0 to 2 years. Nobody cares about 0 to 2 if you know these skills. Then if you know how to tell people that I have done all this stuff, I know how to perform work in Windows and Linux and all that sort of stuff, then they take you. That this is how it works. That's why it says junior. That's why it says entry level for most of it. Even if they put experiences, we ignore that. Ignoring is basically you telling the other person that I'm very confident and I have done a lot of hands-on projects. I know this stuff. Give me a chance, and they will give it to you. This is how IT works. So now that you are cleared, let's go ahead to our system or platform where you have access, and I'm going to show you how we are going to now practically perform all of these steps from step 1, step 2, learning the basics and getting into more specific learning like AWS. So let's get started with that. So let's say you're new and you're basically getting started. So how will we do step 1? Let's go back to the platform and I'm going to open this platform. Now, I assume you already have a premium membership with us. That's why you're going to get all this access to the labs. So the first thing you need to do is to click on the roadmaps. Roadmaps are a collection of courses and labs that we have designed to make it easy for you. So if you're brand new or you are starting to learn the basics and the fundamental the right way, then you're going to go into this roadmap, which is called Modern IT Support Roadmap. You're going to click on Start this roadmap, and then the roadmap will open up. So you see, it's like a map. You need to finish this whole map. Everything included in this map will lead you towards learning the IT fundamentals, everything that we expect you to know before you join and go apply to more advanced positions. So this is gonna enable you to start looking for IT support jobs. And let's say if you don't want to do these jobs or applying to jobs, at least you should finish it. So at least you know all of these skills like Active Directory, Office 365, other technical skills. And even inside these modern IT support courses, it's going to teach you like DNS, DHCP labs, even cloud labs are there too. So it's going to actually teach you that stuff. Once you're ready to learn, just click on the course right here, and then it will open the course. And then click on start the course by reading the description. And here on the left side, you can start with the introduction like this one. It has a form. You can fill out this form. We interact with you inside the courses as well. And there are lab tours, career information, learning goals, what is network. You see, this is what I was talking about, that you're going to learn all of these basics from this whole roadmap. It's 4 or 5 courses. It's going to take you about 2 months or 3 months, depending on how fast you do these labs. And it's going to work on your resume, projects. Everything is in there for you to get that basics, and not only that, actually prepare you for those entry level IT jobs. Let's say you are not having good success with the cloud jobs, you may realize that later on you can actually go for these jobs, at least get started in IT. So the second roadmap, once you finish this roadmap, the second step that we have mentioned is this one, the networking one. And again, we need this one because these are advanced positions. Even the cloud level positions are advanced. And like I said, in some companies, you're going to be working in a hybrid environment where they will have servers and networking devices, and those probably need to have some sort of connection with the cloud. And that is where then you can come back to the roadmap. Let's go back to the roadmap here. Actually, this one right here. We're going to go back to the roadmap, and here you see if I scroll down, we have this one, transitioning skills roadmap. This is basically like a prerequisite before you start any advanced roadmaps in our system. So if you go to start, and it's only one course, but it's like a program. The way it works is that we have a program where a teacher coaches people on our website. But let's say if you don't want to take the coaching program, a self-paced version is this one where you can get into this as a member and start this course just like that. And now you see it's all about networking, advanced networking, IP, DHCP labs are all there. Ethernet, switching, routing, wireless, and then there are some security, hardening, VPN, load balancing, cloud administration again over here. That goes into showing you some real world demos and everything in here too. So this will prepare you for the junior sysadmin and network engineering positions, and like a hybrid systems administrator. Even if they're using cloud, you still have some sort of experience. Even from these two roadmaps, you will be capable of landing some sort of IT jobs that has to do something with cloud. So great way to get confidence and getting started. Now, after this, when we mentioned that you still need to know about the cloud basics, which is basically the third step right here, and that is where you need to now learn everything about cloud. Like you just want to get into cloud now, and that's where you need to go to our next roadmap. So here you'll go back to the roadmap and you scroll down, you see there's a cloud administrator roadmap. This is where you can then start your cloud learning journey. If you come over here, you see this is a cloud fundamental. It targets 2 certification, even though we're not focused a lot on certification, but the content that we covers in this automatically covers these two. So you can kind of use it towards that as well. But here you see that we have cloud fundamentals. So if you start with the cloud fundamentals, a very big course and a really hands-on course. If you go into it and start this course, now you will learn about first what is cloud, the benefits, everything like video based, and that's just understanding. Then you're going to see the cloud concepts. Again, it's going to be videos, but there's chapters with some labs as well. So let's say, for example, you cover consumption models, cloud services, and then you click on this practice live. You can launch the lab right here. Just like any other courses that I showed you, all have labs. Cloud as well have labs with us. So you open this, you see this is a nice step-by-step objectives just opened up, and it tells you exactly this machines. When this opens up, you're going to log into Azure environment and it start teaching you that stuff. When the computer opens up, it will automatically log you in, and then it will open Azure portal, and then you can basically click on the browser, and then this is where you can then see that this Azure environment just opened up. Of course, we have limitations in here. It will not be like a free access to you can do anything you want. It will be limited to your lab environment. And if you want to do something more advanced or create a very heavy virtual machines, then you will have to get your own subscription, and then you can replicate things in your own environment. But in your membership, limited access is available, and that's pretty good for you to just get the basics and even a little more than basics. So here, chapter 2 will start. You will learn about chapter 2. In the middle, you see there are labs coming here. There's lab about networking concept. All of that stuff is available in this course, and then it gets to a more cloud plus network CompTIA cloud plus training. And you see it starts with a lot of modules like this, just basically like hands-on videos. So you're going to watch the videos, perform it here in the live environment. So if you watch, let's say, navigating Microsoft Azure portal, then there's a live lab for that. Again, models, availability, configuring and managing cloud identities. And every time you click on it, it's going to take you to the lab in this. So it's a very long course, more than 20 hours worth of course, and that we're taking basics also very seriously. It's not like a 2 hours course and you're done with basics. No, when you finish this basics, you're going to tell yourself, okay, you know the cloud basics. So now what is my next target after this? How can I achieve this goal where I want to be now targeted towards some job where I can just perform some stuff on a real AWS environment and then do this because I want to work in this area. So in this roadmap, you are going to continue your journey by following whatever the roadmap is teaching you. So if I come to your roadmap right here, you see the second course, and this is technical skills for IT professionals using Azure. So you could actually use this to learn more about the Azure environment. And if you want to get into the cloud for AWS, which I would recommend starting this one, you can actually go over the videos in this one. and then target AWS for now because that has more availability for these jobs. So you can open the AWS practitioner course, and then that is also hands-on with limited access. Again, not everything included, but that's enough for you to learn everything about AWS as well. So you could start AWS practitioner in here in our platform. You can go to the lecture, watch the lecture video, and then get into the fundamental of Azure, and that the lab will teach you as well. And you can perform the lab in the real system by clicking here. It is also going to open up a lab just like the Azure one. It's going to open AWS lab. Now, the best thing about this is that when you start doing this stuff, when you start learning about this, you will have no issue of understanding what's going on in these systems. You can even get into these systems and play around with other things that are not covered in this course. As long as you have the access, you can really mess around with it. And that's where you have the confidence. Why? Because you took the realistic approach towards becoming an advanced IT professionals. Then you can say that I can go with more than 100K, 120K because you know a lot of stuff at this point. So if you open the browser here too, you see it's going to open a AWS environment. And that's the reality of our platform, that we only believe in real world skills. The things that we cover is going to be real projects, real system, real machines. And this is where when you finish everything by ending this whole roadmap over here, you can really go after these positions even if you don't have a lot of experience. But getting that IT support jobs in the beginning does give you upper hand for a lot of people, but that doesn't mean that that's the only way to do it. You can learn these skills and just kind of keep learning it and then go after these jobs. But you have to apply to hundreds of jobs to get some sort of response, because this is how it works. That's the reality. If you want to be doing this as a member, then go to jobskillshare.org, become a premium member. You can try the premium membership for just $1.99 for 5 days just to see what I'm talking about. And then become a full time 1 year long member because you want to use all of this. And it's not going to be something you can finish in 1 or 2 months. It's going to take you some time. So thank you. Hopefully you have whatever I wanted to cover for cloud administration, I've covered it. If not, let me know in the comment section.